and hide whole folder. You see, I can go here and hide all folder. So you can have separate folders, like say top screws, something like that, because there's also side one that can have separate. So if I want to hide all of those, I'm going to one folder and I'm hiding that. Now, so let's see the part from inside. I hide this component, gearbox cover, I hide it. And this is how part looks from here. Now, I should be able to rotate this shaft. You see, I'm rotating this shaft, I'm not touching gear. And I'm getting this shaft moving. Watch here. You understand? Right? Good. Now, if you have this, right, there are some mistakes in that project, but let's see critical component. This is, I opened that part, old version, but this is gasket. Rubber gasket that is placed in the on top of the housing. I close it. I don't need to worry about that. Now, housing, watch here, should be done this way that you weld it. If you remember, the housing should have been done as a part. Why? Because anything that cannot be disassembled, SolidWorks consider part. That means all sides here are not parts. They are bodies. And there is mistake in that housing. Open this one. You see, the cylinders that were here were created as a separate parts. They should have been bodies. So the walls are here, right? But cylinders are missing. So this is how you have the part. Actually, welding can be done from outside only, because if you do from inside, you may have a problem unless you have wide enough transmission. Because imagine that you need to put this big gun, and we are not talking about gas welding, we are talking about TIG, MIG, all those more dependable welding. So this is basically the housing, certain openings for holes. Yes, sir.
For this though, can we have the cylinders and this frame as one assembly on its own and then attached or then inserted into
as a one sub-assembly? This is how we did, but I consider it sort of mistake, because you cannot claim assembly what cannot be disassembled.
Okay.
If it's welded, that is one part.
So we want to call it or make it as a part.
As a part. On top of that, if you want to put welds, different parts, SolidWorks does not allow you to create welds on assembly level, only on part level.
Okay.
So they faked it. They created this weld a fake way. Well, I happen to know a little bit, so, but they still get good marks, right? So that's another. But you see, this is what you learned in a previous classes. Different welds. What should be size of the fillet weld? At least thickness of a smaller one, right? Try to keep the same material for all walls. Why? Because we talk about prototype parts, so we don't need to get so many different suppliers, different sheets of metal. Also, make sure that you don't forget about, they forgot it, but like you should not forget about attachment holes where you will be attaching the transmission on the foundation, on the frame. They forgot it. Right, so please make sure that you have at least 4 of them on 4 sides. So let me talk about another part. You see, this is the part. Let me see where they had it. Okay, if I open this one, this is the sub-assembly. You see, this should have been done as a part, not assembly. Right?
So those are the parts that you drew on the board last class?
Yeah.
They should all be one part.
All housing, and that should be one part. Because what they did here, you see, what they did here for housing and cylinders, for whatever reason unknown to me, they consider separate parts. Right? Rule of thumb is, if you cannot disassemble something, it's considered part. So, and if you have bolts or 2 parts bolted together, there is always some dispute if 2 parts that are riveted are considered parts or not. And some people say, no, when they are riveted, they are assembled.
So that's...
But we don't have a riveted component. Right, so this is basically the housing. So those are cylinders, which here, 6 holes at least for each cylinder, hole for the ring, fillets wherever needed. Here, what else you want to see around that? Okay, vacant opening, because they used like some kind of glass for verifying oil level. Some people did it with stick. I think this part was taken from SolidWorks. You are allowed to take parts from outside, like McMaster car, but you need to put those parts into your folder. So let's go to look for different parts. Let me hide lower housing. Now we have transmission. You see, those are covers. The covers have gaskets. Since we have actually left and right side bearings the same, gaskets are the same size, except we have 3 of them, three pairs of 2. This is how it is done here. Watch here. This cover is different than that one. Let's look at first that one. Let me open that part. This is the part that actually has a groove for the retaining ring. Sorry, it's not retaining, for O-ring, called also Zimmer ring in mechanical engineering. So this is the one. This is a cover. Cover on the other side. Does not have that part. Of here. Now, what else is important? You have a keys, so let me hide one out of parts here. Let me actually rotate this one, and guess what? Shaft rotates with key. Here. What part is that? Bushing. You can make your own bushing. You can use bushing from library, but usually the length is not matching, so you can use part from library and cut it. Imagine that's how you will be making it. It's sometimes better to buy part that is longer and just cut it, rather to to get everything worked out inside and outside. Right, so we are talking about prototype transmission. Next semester, Max 600. Actually, you will be able you will be working on mass production parts, and I suggest that you, if you can't, please stay for the third year. I just received email from Barb Martin. You met her probably on a number of town halls or something like that. University of Windsor, for our 3-year, gives now chance to complete with degree with 3 to 4 semesters maximum. So this is new university closer here. And by the way, if you want later on to get good job south of the border, you better have engineering degree, because this gives you the visa, like a working visa, TN1, and actually that's why it's better to have a degree or not than not. As a technician, technologist, you probably will not get the visa, or not that easily. But like if you want to because in the end, that's how I was working. I was trying to get good job after graduation for good 4 years, and I was getting like contract jobs, a few months here, a few months there. Eventually, I get a really full-time job with automotive